What is going on, everybody? Welcome to another stream. Deadline tomorrow. Lots to talk about. Hazard, Sterling, all that good stuff. And it's good news, for me at least. This is the last stream where I'll have to have this stupid moustache on. Which I hate. And I don't know what it is about November. When you do Movember, you seem to meet loads of new people in that month. Like I don't usually meet new people that often. But this month, I seem to... like today I went and signed up for a new gym, so it's the first time I've met the guy that owns it to sign up with this thing on my face. He's like, "What the hell are you doing?" So just before we start the FPL stuff, I'm going to do a shout out. A second, just grab something there for all the people that have donated so far. Links in the description if you haven't already and you've got a few quid to spare. It's a creepy ass tash, yeah. But I mean, who can really, apart from maybe Tom Selleck and I can't even think of anyone else, who can really pull off a mustache? I mean, come on. They're horrible things. So we're up to €665, which is amazing. Way more than I thought. I was going to put a 500 target at the start. I thought, no, there's no way we'll get that. So I started low. But we got up to 665. I will stop banging on about it after this stream. So I just want to do some shout outs for the people that have not subscribed, sorry, who donated since the last one. I'm going to try and remember. I think I did Andrew Talbot. I don't know. I did it before. Probably pronounced it a bit better as well. Alan Pierce, Chris Chorley, Anonymous Supporter. I think I did all those last stream. Jenks, James P, Hanu Mikola, I think that is. That's Flying Fins. And Tim Franson. So thanks very much. We're on 665, hoping to get up to 750 to end. If we can get to 750 before the end of the stream, we'll do a giveaway on Twitter for one of these bad boys. So if we can get to 750 before the end of the stream, we'll do a giveaway for one of them. Otherwise, I'll just save it for some kind of Christmas giveaway instead. Maybe a goatee next time around. Maybe next time around we just don't do it. And I don't look like more of an idiot than I already do. Okay. That's enough of the FPL stuff. So, enough of the non-FPL stuff. I guess we should talk about FPL. So I've made a transfer already. I was going to wait till the stream to do it, but I didn't want to miss the price rise, which didn't happen. And I'm sure you can probably already guess what I've done. So let's reveal now. Sterling's in. Sterling is in, currently captain. Hazard has gone. I'm currently playing 4-3-3 and benching Richarlison. I'm not sure I'm going to do that by deadline. I know playing the Liverpool defender and the Everton attacker is probably not the best, but not sure I'm 100% going to go that. Why can't you donate? I don't know. You can't donate through YouTube because I've turned that off for November so we can get Movember donations instead. So not sure why you can't donate. The link is in the description. So anyway, I've sold Hazard. Alright. Why have I done that? Maybe I just got caught up in the hype of Sterling. Trent has goal potential as well as clean sheets, so it's not terrible to play him. Yeah, potentially. I mean, it would basically be Doherty that I would bench. And there's 5 polls in the top right hand corner. Click the little eye, and you can vote on whether Wolves' defence is a goner or not. I kind of want to play him. I feel like this is his last chance to impress me before I get a bit worried about him. I probably should already be worried, to be honest. No clean sheet in 5. But anyway, Hazard move. So I was literally last night, I was in bed thinking about it, and I thought, I'm not going to go to sleep until I do it, so I'm just going to do it. And the way I thought about it was, there's no guarantee he plays against Fulham. I think he probably will. Even though I've sold him, I still think he probably will play versus Fulham. And he'll probably even start. And Fulham is a better fixture than Bournemouth. But as it's Man City, I just think to them, Bournemouth is just as good almost as Fulham is to Hazard. I don't think Sterling's going to get rotated way more or way less than Hazard. I think it'll be. I think he'll probably get rotated a little bit more, But I also think rotation and rests over Christmas are blown out of proportion a bit by people in the community. It doesn't happen that often. He played loads of minutes last year in Christmas, so I expect Sterling to start most games, or I hope he does. I know full well that this could be a week where he gets rested. Maybe they play Sané, who came off after 60 minutes, and play Mahrez instead. That could happen, but Mahrez played in that game too. So I think Sterling how can I not have him the way he's playing this year? Top scorer. He's kind of carried on where he left off last year. He's beaten Salah for now. I mean, Salah's done pretty well recently, so I'm actually not too mad on getting rid of Salah, but that may happen in the next couple of weeks. I'm just happy to have both for now. So he's top scorer. He's doing really well for his price. I got like a lot of people at the start of the season, I thought he was overpriced. He's showing me that maybe he's not. Do I need him and Aguero long term? Probably not. I'd probably get Sané in somewhere along the line. We'll talk about that later. Arguably, I could have got Sané in this week. But I was going for Sterling, captain this week. The way he's playing, I mean, he's just set and forget captain, right? Maybe not against top 6 teams. And, if you've got the likes of Salah in and they got a better fixture or a much better fixture, then maybe you go for that. But he just looks like set and forget. And look, it could backfire. Maybe he'll be on the bench this week. I just have to hope that he doesn't come on, because I've got Aguero vice captain. And if they both get benched, it's game over. Maybe I'll just skip all the streams next week. So I've done it. If Sterling risen and Hazard have fallen, then I wouldn't have been able to do it as well. So I made it early. I've kind of left myself now in a position where I can't get Kane in without taking a hit next week. I'm not sure I'm going to get him. I may captain Salah instead, because he's been so consistent recently. But yeah, Sterling is in. I mean, he just looks great this year. Man City are going to score 3 to 4 goals every game, pretty much. There'll obviously be some games where that doesn't happen, and top 6 games will still be tough for them. But they're just doing what they did last year, and it's insane how many goals they score. And to be honest, if I could do it for free, I'd get Sané in as well. But I can't, so he stays out. Don't skip stream. I'm not going to skip streams. I was only messing. I'm here every week, rain or shine, whether I do awful or not. So don't panic. It bothers me how Alonso looks like a right back in your team. Yeah, I don't usually play around with team too much. Do you think Hazard is finished for scoring 10 plus consistently? I mean, most players don't score 10 plus consistently. I don't think he's done. I don't think he's finished with it. But Sarri's kind of saying he needs a couple of games to get up to maybe full fitness, match fitness, whatever you want to call it. So he might not even be fully fit for Fulham. And also, Giroud played tonight, so Morata played. Now, that's one of those stats where I don't think he's scored when Morata's been on the pitch or when Morata's started. I mean, to me, that just seems like one of those stats that I'm sure there's something in it. Tactically, the way Morata plays, the fact that Morata has just been completely off form all season. Apart from a tiny little patch a few weeks ago, but I just think that's the kind of stat that will get broken sooner or later, and it could be this week. I mean, Fulham, yes, Ranieri kind of turned it around and got the win against Southampton. They still conceded 2 goals against Southampton, and they've not exactly been prolific scorers this year. So I do think there's goals in that for Chelsea. But the way I looked at it was, can anyone sit... There's no doubts that Hazard will score points the rest of the season if he keeps playing. It's a bit like if you haven't got Kane or if you haven't got Salah. You know they're going to score. You're just hoping that your players will score more. And can anyone really sit here and say that Hazard will highly outscore Sterling for the same money? I don't think they would. And I know, I kind of said it on the preview in the last... I don't know if I said it on the last stream, but I said it on the preview that if I don't get him now, it'll be another excuse not to get him next week, and another one to get him out the week after. He'll score goals, get assists, his price will go up. And I've already been sitting on him too long. I should have had him in. So I've done it, basically. And there's the Arsenal fixture swing soon. There's the Spurs one. Arguably Salah could go soon. Maybe I don't need Aguero. I'm just going to take hits, I think, if I need them. And go from there. I'm not even sure I 100% want Kane. I'm going to see how he does against Arsenal. He's really not done that much this season to make me think I really need to get him in. But I was impressed against Chelsea, so we'll see. We will see. Anyway, that's kind of my team. That's how I'm set up. Let's see what other questions we have. Well, Hazard dropping price tonight? I don't think so. He was about 45% yesterday. So, I mean, Sterling could rise tonight. Hazard's on minus 80. So, my general thing with FPL statistics is once a player gets to minus 80, that's kind of the time when they could fall. I think generally with the price rise sites like FPL statistics, they can predict rises much better than the falls. So once it gets to about 80%, it could happen. So yeah, he could fall tonight, but I don't know for sure. I saw a question earlier, I think it was from Adam, saying, is that the only transfer for me this week? I think it definitely is. Unless I get more injury news tomorrow, in which case I should have waited on my transfer. I did take I don't know if it was a risk, but obviously Hazard potentially not going to play. I think he will. Ryan was yellow flagged. I'd already made the transfer before I found out he was going to play. But we did kind of hear unofficially that Arnautovic was going to play. So I was pretty happy to make the transfer. And my bench is pretty good. If Dean Garner can start and actually get over 60 minutes, then he's okay, I think, this week. Keane, yeah, okay, it's against Liverpool, that's tough. Probably the one I don't want to play. If I'm benching Doherty or Richarlison, I don't mind getting either of those off the bench. So, pretty happy with that. And also, doing Hazard to Sterling means I get to keep Salah and Martial, who I was looking at maybe getting rid. But I knew it was a knee-jerk on Martial. But I kind of want to give him Southampton. Maybe he'll be the push that they need to sack Mark Hughes. And also he plays Fulham soon. So I probably want him for that. But I'm not against... Just to quickly... Sorry, I know I'm talking about my team a lot. Like things I've looked at for next week is Salah to Sané. Salah to Spurs mid, potentially. And Martial to Sané for a hit. Something like that. Because obviously Martial plays Arsenal. So I'll see how he does this week. And keeping Aguero, not necessarily going straight for Kane. And something which Nick on Who Got the Assist pointed out on their podcast this week was everyone's looking at Aguero to Kane. Obviously, you need a bit of money to do that. And my team value is not the best. But Aguero to Lacazette or Aguero to Aubameyang, and their fixture swing is in Gameweek 16, is you could do it for free. So that's something to think about. But obviously, the biggest difference there is we're pretty confident he's going to start nearly every game, if not all of them, over Christmas. And he's on penalties, whereas Aubameyang and Lacazette, I think Aubameyang's probably, he's first choice penalty taker. But I believe we've seen both of them take a penalty in the same match, where they've both been on the pitch. And we don't know if they're definitely going to line up together or who's going to be the main man there. Aubameyang's been starting recently, but let's see what happens over the next couple of weeks. So that's kind of what I'm thinking going forward. Martial great for Fulham, but Hazard is not great for Fulham. I haven't said that Hazard is not great for Fulham. I just think that Sterling against Bournemouth could score as many points, if not maybe more. And he's owned by less, so he's a bit of a differential as well, still. Although I expect his ownership will go up quite a bit. Sterling and Martial rise tonight. Yeah, I didn't see Martial actually there. Good point. Mr. G-Wiz. Plan on Aubameyang and Kane with Ali instead of Sané. Nice. Part money, part belief he'll do well. Yeah, Ali I'm definitely looking at. Son is, if I'm honest, Son is the one I want, but I don't know, he got rested midweek, didn't he? So I feel like Pochettino should... I mean, it was quite clear in that Chelsea match that there was a big turnaround for Spurs when they had their four main attackers playing. So hopefully Poch has seen that. But obviously... I mean, he knows what he's doing, right? He's a better manager than me, but obviously there's going to be rotation over Christmas, and I mean, like I said earlier about rotation being blown out of proportion, like it gets talked about a lot. I mean, ultimately, you can look at X player has played here, they've got 3 games coming up, maybe he gets rested for the middle one, but we don't know for sure if that's going to happen. And the main thing for me is just have a bench you can rely on. Because trying to second guess rotation is almost impossible, and it tends to never be as bad as we think. like, sure, there's a game every 3 days or whatever it might be, and there might be more or less in certain points over Christmas, but that's not much different to Aguero playing in the league, then playing in the Champions League, then playing in the league. That's a game every 4 days. So I try not to worry about it too much rotation wise. But obviously there's players like Wan-Bissaka. I'm not expecting him to get rotated more than one game. Same for Alonso. So there are certain players you can probably worry about less. Salah, I think, is almost not maybe Kane level, but pretty good for not being rotated. Although some people think he might be rotated. I think for the Bournemouth game because of the Napoli game, which is a must-win now. Luke's in the gym. What's up, Luke? Enjoy. Your Game Week 15 captain. Yeah, it would be Salah with my current... Well, Salah against Burnley or Sterling against Watford. I think they're both good, to be honest. Even Aguero against Watford. So I think I've got options. Yes, it's not Kane versus Southampton, but I don't think they're the worst fixtures, to be honest. Your team has gone from trash to quality with one move. What's your plan for Ryan? The plan is to keep him for now. I'd have to quickly remind myself of when the fixtures turn. Luke's healthiness makes me feel rather inadequate. I actually went to the gym tonight and then straight to the personal trainer I've been going to for ages. And then straight after that I went to a different gym to sign up. So I'm going to go solo soon. Hopefully I can keep at it. What was I checking? Ryan's fixtures. So Huddersfield's fine. Palace at home, Burnley away. I think they're okay. Then it gets tricky for me. You got Chelsea at home and Arsenal at home, Bournemouth away, Everton at home's okay. Then you're looking at games like against Liverpool at home, Man United away. So it gets nasty soon. So I may look at switching him. And Leno would probably be top of the list. What's up, FPL there? Go and check his channel out. How long is Hazard absent for? I mean, he might not be absent at all. He might play this week. We don't know for sure. Yeah, Ryan's off to the Asian Cup as well. And right now, Button is not second choice by the looks of it. Steele is, which is a bit of a problem for me. So I will make a goalkeeper transfer if I have to. I don't want to do it, but getting a top 6 goalkeeper in Leno could be the way forward. Oh, he demolished the selection box. I'm so jealous. Yeah, no, I'm aware about Ryan and the Asian Cup. How do I feel about Arsenal defence? I mean, it's not been great, and I think that's putting it mildly. I just think the fixtures will help them out with that. Fixtures are overrated slightly, unless playing City Pool or informed Spurs. The main consideration should be form. I'm not sure I agree with that too much, to be honest. We've seen people say that Salah's out of form when he played 3 top 6 teams in 4. Wilson was a form pick, but yet the fixtures have turned a bit, and he's only got 1 goal in 3, and that was, I won't say lucky against Man United, but it was a very bad piece of defending which led to that goal. So I do think fixtures play a massive part, and a lot of time people will just not notice that's happened sometimes, and they'll just say, "Oh, players in form now," but actually, he's just played easier fixtures. It doesn't always work like that. Obviously, Jimenez got points against Spurs and Arsenal, I think. I wasn't expecting that, but I think fixtures do play a massive part. I actually think it's probably the big hitters that you don't worry about as much, because you don't want to be necessarily transferring them in and out all the time. Do you think Zaha could be a differential? I did actually look at him, because I think he's 6.7 now, and obviously Arnautovic had a bit of an injury, so I was looking around players around the same price. I mean, he is a differential. If you look at the teams that people have got in the community and stuff, Zaha doesn't really feature, and I'm sure if I checked the top 10k, he'd be very low owned. But I think that's for a good reason. He's not really shown his ability recently, but again, fixtures have been tough for Crystal Palace, so if he's going to go into any kind of form, it'll be against Burnley at home. So it could be a cheeky differential. What polls do we have tonight? Yeah, good question. I didn't read them out at the start. We have... let me just close this. Your game week 14 captain. Would you sell Hazard this week? Which City mid would you bring in? I feel like there was a better way to phrase that question because I think I know who's going to win that. Is it time to drop Wolves defenders and how many hits are you taking? So they were all kind of chosen by you guys on Twitter. What is this picture? Someone's linked me. Okay. Very weird. We've had a donation from a name that I'm going to butcher, so I apologise in advance. Vitas Paulauskas. I've definitely got that wrong. Vitas Paulauskas, I think. It says nice tash, a €5 donation. So we're on 670. So we're still €80 away from the target of 750. I know it's a big ask, but if we can get to it, then there'll be a tweet straight after this. Retweet to win one of these. I'll just pick someone at random, donated or not. So if you got a few quid to spare, it's a really good charity. It'd be much appreciated. I'm going to stop putting that back in the box because it's just a pain to pick up after. Okay, what do you do with your channel when the season finishes and FPL is no longer running? I just leave it most of the time. I've already been thinking about maybe 1 a week videos I could do, but I always say that and then I end up just enjoying the summer and coming back afterwards. All the focus is on Sané and Sterling. The Brave will punt on Mahrez as he has minutes in the bank. Yeah, I think that's a fair point. No one's really talking about him, but it's very difficult to look past Sterling and Sané. I feel like, you know, sometimes we overlook players, and I've spoken before about, you know, I sometimes get blinkers on. I'll think of a transfer, I'll consider it for a bit, and then I won't consider other transfers. And I'll get locked into one, and I just get tunnel vision on that. I have the blinkers on, so to speak. But I just think, sometimes the obvious moves are the ones to go for, and Sterling and Sané just look like better options than Mahrez, you know, stats wise and stuff, and just general play. And I mean, Mahrez will get points if he plays because he plays for Man City, but yeah, I think sometimes that's just... I don't know if Mahrez is as bad as saying it's looking for someone different for the sake of it. I don't think it's that bad of a pick at all. He'd probably outscore all of them this week now, I've said that. But I do think Sterling and Sané are quite a bit ahead. I've got the captaincy on Sterling, yes, although I'm very tempted to switch it to Aguero. How much in the bank? A few people asking me that. I have 0.1, I think. Yeah, 0.1 million, so not very much. Not very much at all. Will Son play week in, week out now? It's anybody's guess, really. I would say probably not. But I do think he'll play more often than not now. I think he has to. I think he's better than Mora. Lamella is a problem, I think, because he's played very well this season. But Son just adds something different, I think. Interestingly, actually, I was checking the stats on Fantasy Football Scout for the Spurs players for that Chelsea game. I think Ali and Son both had more shots in the box than Kane. What's your secret to the? What is the secret to your best ever start? I wish I knew. I really wish I knew. I don't know what I did differently this year, really. You know, obviously nailed lots of captains. I mean, I wildcarded. The secret to my success is getting Wolves players in, to be honest. Wildcarding and getting the head of the game on that. Guess his son plays 2 out of 3 games. Pochettino seems to like Sissoko. Yeah, and to be fair, a lot of Spurs fans have been saying Sissoko's been playing well. Kind of turning around on him a bit because they've not liked him before. Is Kane someone to look at? Yeah, definitely from next week. Thoughts on triple Man City mid? I think if you're going like 3-5-2, then yeah, or 4-3... No, yeah, 3-5-2 or something like that. I think, yeah, that could work. Because at the end of the day, you're taking out Aguero to get... Maybe someone... You know, obviously it depends on your team specifically, but in my team, I'd be taking out Aguero to get Sané and like David Silva, whoever it may be. I think that's fine. I would actually... I have looked at doing that and having Arnautovic and Jimenez as my main strikers, but it's a lot of reshuffling without a wild card. And I don't think there's going to be much opportunity over the next couple of weeks to save a transfer and just do a mini wild card. So I'm probably going to stick to this kind of balance of the team. Because having Aguero does allow me to go up to Kane, or if I can get some money from somewhere, or down to Aubameyang, Lacazette, etc. So it's kind of nice structure-wise. But yeah, 3-5-2 with the triple Man City mids. I mean, arguably you could have them in a 3-4-3 too. That good. Who's the best one-game punt? You're thinking Willian. I like that. Willian's created the most chances this year for midfielders, which is really interesting. Now, the problem is, he's probably created a lot of those chances for Morata, who's not been on his best form this year. But yeah, I think Willian is an interesting punt. I don't know if he played tonight. That's the only thing. I don't think he did. Someone in the chat will correct me there if I'm wrong. Very frustrating watching these streams. I've never had a question answered. Ouch. You just had that read out, though. Doherty surely can't last much longer. Yeah, I kind of spoke about this earlier. I think, obviously, they're kind of down to their last legs in terms of staying in our teams, because no clean sheets, just not good enough. Obviously, we want something against Cardiff. The thing for the way I've got my team set up is he's now just part of a rotation, whereas a couple of weeks ago I was kind of almost forced to have to play him because Wan-Bissaka had awful fixtures. I can't remember the other defender I had before. I actually had Mendy, actually. So I felt like a few weeks ago I had to play Doherty. Now I don't feel that way, and I can basically just kind of rotate him around for his good fixtures. So I'm not looking at getting rid of him just yet. I got him for 4.4 million as well, which is a bit of a difference. But yeah, I mean, people with double and triple Wolves defence are probably kicking themselves, I would say. It's one of the reasons I went for Keane over someone like... I mean, in the end, I spent a bit more on my defender. I mean, arguably, I should have gone Diop. I mean, if I got Diop, I would have played Trent last week, got his 14 points, and would have had Diop this week against Newcastle, and I'd have enough money to do Aguero to Kane. So that's probably, maybe, a mistake there to get Keane in. But I spent a bit more money, but people were looking at Bennett. I looked at him too. I just think double Wolves probably not for now. Are you keeping and holding on to Salah? I am for this week. Next week onwards, let's see. Watch this space. Really liking Renee out of hello. Do you know what the sad thing is? There's going to be so many people in this chat that have no idea what you're talking about. I mean, I only know because my dad used to watch it on a Saturday. Is that the theme tune? I think it is. Cheers, Tom. We're on the last stream for November. I cannot wait to get rid of this tomorrow. We're on €670, I think. Let me refresh. Oof. Wait, hang on. How does that work? We're up to 720. I don't see any activity. Hang on. What has happened here? Because even when someone does it anonymously, it still shows up. Hang on. Let me have a look here. Let me have a look. Okay, that's really strange. It's like 50 quid's gone on, but I don't know where from. I kind of feel bad because I can't read it out if I don't know who. I'll refresh it again in a minute and see if I can figure it out. But thanks, whoever it was, thanks very much. We're only €30 away from 750, and boom, one of these going on Twitter, retweet and picked a random of who wins. Okay. You won't shift that tune. I mean, surely most people don't know what a low is, right? If you still had a wildcard, when would you recommend to play it? I actually think you could arguably play it this week, looking at the fixtures of some of the big guys. But obviously Spurs you may not want this week and Arsenal as well. So probably next week or game week 16. Balbuena or Doherty? I think West Ham have got the fixtures and Balbuena's got a bit of goal for it. And he's a bit cheaper. But my only worry about not going for Doherty in that situation is we are writing him off a bit, where he has been so attacking still. Now, it wasn't necessarily against Huddersfield, which is a bit of a worry. I don't know if Johnny is maybe affecting their team a bit. But yeah, Balbuena's fixtures are pretty good from now on, at least over Christmas. And he got a bit of goal for it. And he saved a bit of money as well, so I'd be tempted by him. But I certainly wouldn't write off... certainly wouldn't write off Doherty just yet. But nearly with Wolves. I did take out Hazard, yeah. I've kind of already spoke about that quite a bit at the start of the stream. I don't want to keep answering it too much because otherwise people that are watching the whole stream just hear the same stuff repeated. Excuse me. Liverpool defenders out 3 away games in the next 5. I think for me, like they're like not a rush to get rid of. They've been so good defensively, and yes, maybe away games will be a bit tougher, but they've been so good defensively. And actually, it looks, a lot of people pointing out that, maybe they're actually concentrating on defending a bit more, and that's why they're not. Salah hasn't got loads of double figure hauls or whatever. They're not going for goals as much because they know they can close out games. Their defense is good. So I don't know if there's a rush to get rid of him. I'm certainly not in a rush to get rid of Trent. Robertson, okay, you're holding a bit more money with him, but I think for now you can probably hold, even with the away games. oh no, I've forgotten how to pronounce the name. It's not Guarav. Donated 25 and 30 euros for you. You've met the target. Well, hang on, let me just double check. No, it's still showing 720, and it doesn't show who. Let me log out and back in a sec, because I do want to get this out. Gorav. Okay, apologies, man. I know you always tell me that, and I always forget. I'm just a horrible person. Let me just see. Yeah, it's still showing 7. Okay, hang on. Alan Houlihan. Thanks very much for the €5. That still doesn't explain where the rest of the money came from. So thanks very much for that, Alan. Okay. Surely Sané has more chance of starting both of the next 2 games with his rest in the Champions League. Yeah, I mean, I do think he's a good pick. Yeah. You could be right, and maybe I've made a mistake with Sterling. Where is your accent from? From near Bristol. Maybe with a bit of Irish thrown in these days. Just for the crack. You know what I'm saying? I mean, Sané is more nailed on than Sterling. I don't think you can... with a great deal of confidence say that. For the crack. Yeah, I got to pick up those Irish sayings. Up the gas, exactly. Although they're doing awful. My mate keeps messaging me telling me they're going down. Okay, we have hit 750. Do I put the target up now? I've got it, haven't I? But that is done. The mug will be put on Twitter after this stream. Just retweet on Twitter, follow, retweet, and I'll pick a random... I don't know, I'll pick a date for when you've got to retweet it by. And then I'll pick someone. So thanks very much to everyone that's donated. €750 is insane. So yeah, Alan Houlihan, Gorav as well, and David Daly. Much appreciated. Viper, how's it going? Long time no see. Salah out over Hazard for me. Yeah, that could have been a way to go. If you're pretty confident that Hazard is going to start, which I do think he will. comfortably say that as someone who's just sold him. I still think he will. Then yeah, Salah out could be the way to go because Hazard's got a great fixture. You're still getting that Man City player. How many mugs have I got? Just the one to give away. Just the one. I'm going to order some more though. I'm going to maybe do a couple more giveaways over Christmas. The thing with Salah is he's performing very well. Very consistent. I know he's a lot of money, but it's tough to look past that consistency for me. My boy was born in London. You're trying to get him to sound Irish. That's probably going to be tough. My little boy has an Irish accent, yeah, for sure. Is it possible to make top 10k if you're ranked 150k? Yes, definitely. David Silva or Leroy Sané? I almost hate saying Leroy Sané because it just feels like such a bit of a knee-jerk after the last game. But he's performed so well when he's played. I think he's a bit more. The thing with David Silva, he's one of those players I'm just going to keep overlooking, even though I had him up until recently. You just overlook because he hits about 9 points, and that's probably about it. Sané is just exciting to watch. Gets in the box a lot. He's just the one for me. You're selling Salah in the next 7 days. The next 7 days are going to be amazing. I love double game weeks are great, and I do love double game weeks. But this part of the season where you get so many matches is amazing. I love it, love it, love it. So the deadline's tomorrow, and then we've got another deadline on Tuesday, and then obviously another one for the following weekend. So many, and what I think is great is what I tweeted about earlier is you've got Spurs fixture swing, Arsenal's fixture swing, Man City players to consider. Do you sell Salah? Do you get Kane? And you've only got a couple of days in between game weeks to actually get it in, so to make your decisions. I actually find sometimes over this part of the season, if I can't make a decision quickly enough, I just do nothing. You're on wildcard and you can't decide. Excuse me. Deleted it. Why is the stream blurry? It should be okay. Maybe try a refresh. So many matches means you don't get so moody after a bad game week. Possibly, yeah. Or you're just in a bad mood for the whole of Christmas because every 3 days you have a bad game week. This could be the way it goes. The stupid thing I find for this time of the season, and this honestly has no logic to it at all, because obviously every game week is the same. Sometimes there's more days in between them, but whatever. You only get one transfer. But I sometimes feel like I don't know if I think I tweeted about this, but I'd like Sané this week, but I can't have him. But because I can get him in like 7 or 8 days, I feel like that's okay, even though that's going to be 3 game weeks I miss him for. Or 2 or 3 that I miss him for. I feel like it's okay because you don't have to wait so long to get him. If that makes sense. So like if you can't get a Man City mid this game week, you can still get one on Tuesday. And they'll be back into another game week. So it feels okay. And that honestly has no logic to it at all. No logical reason to think that's a good thing from an FPL point of view. But psychologically, it can help sometimes. Even though, like I say, absolutely no reason for it. Okay, so Gorav, sorry. It's only just showing up now. So yeah, €25 donation and the 30 to get us over the mark to get to the 750. So thanks very much to Vitas, Alan, Gorav, David, and Gorav again for getting us to the 750, and everyone else that's donated so far. Much, much appreciated. You're very generous people. It's going to a really good cause. And best of all, I get to get rid of this soon. Mrs. is very happy. I'd like to inform you. She's very happy it's going. And she told me I can't do November ever again. You have an awful team. Cheers, buddy. Surely Hazard is captain if you got him. I think I don't know if he is. So when I had Hazard in my team, and before I decided to get rid of him, I had Aguero as captain. I wasn't going to captain Hazard. So if you're 100% that he's going to start, then yeah, maybe it's a good pick. If you've got any doubts, it's a bit of a worry. Thoughts on getting rid of Laporte after this game week? He played all games until now because he was rested during the international break. City have company. Otamendi as capable alternatives. I think he's the same as attackers. He's going to get points when he plays. They're going to get clean sheets. He may miss the odd game or two over Christmas because, like you say, they do have options. But again, if you've got a good enough bench, I think you can probably keep him. If you've had him for a while, or if you've just recently got him in and you're happy with his kind of, I don't want to say point ceiling of 6 because he scored midweek, and obviously he could do that in the Premier League, and he already has this season. But bonus points wise, he's probably not likely to pick up many unless they have low scoring games. That's probably only likely to happen against top 6, which they don't do that, don't play that much. So I don't think there's a massive need to get rid of him just because he might miss the odd game or two. But you just got to make sure you've got a good bench. I don't think last year I used all 3 of my bench players in 1 week, even over Christmas. So I do think there's a bit of a worry over rotation though. It's something we can't really predict. Some people will guess right. Sané went off on 60 minutes. Okay, he's probably more likely to play than Sterling, but it doesn't necessarily work like that. What else we got? Thoughts on hit generally? You seem to take a fair few. I've only taken 3 this season. I've said this before, broken record. My best ever season, I took 96 points hits worth of hits. I just think if they're for long term and they get you some players in that you want and you think they're going to outscore over a few game weeks, then just go for it. Imagine Sané scoring a brace and Aguero a hat-trick with just 2 points sterling. Yeah, just imagine. Just imagine how happy I'll be. I should say, by the way, I probably have to repeat this on Twitter for anyone not watching and doesn't get to this point in the stream, but I will try and do a stream and a video in between all the game weeks that are coming up, but obviously it does get pretty hectic. And someone was asking me about why I'm not on the Scoutcast. I'm actually going to be on the Scoutcast this week, I believe. And then once more before Christmas. So I've got that to fit in as well. So it's going to be tough, but I'll try not to miss anything. How much have I got in the bank? 0.1. The thing with the Scoutcast was not to be on every week, so I had more time. But I always said if they needed me, I would be around and available. So I think it's David that can't make it this week, and then it's Luke that can't make it the second time. So it'll be me, Joe, Az, and Luke this week. It should be. And to be honest, the break's been kind of nice because now I'm like a bit more, enthusiastic and eager to get back into it. It'd be good to debate with a few other people. But why I'm not on it is just extra time in the evenings. It's been really handy for me, to be honest. Otherwise, it's like, it's FPL stuff every single day almost, it feels like. And it just turns into like a second job. And I love doing this stream, of course. But, if I do this on a Sunday, then I make a video on Monday, then I do Scoutcast on Tuesday, and I'm back on a stream on Thursday. It's a lot, to be honest. Okay. Kane always scores against Arsenal. Chances of Gora of getting the bag. Like I said, the tweet will be put out. I'll randomly select someone from whoever retweets it. So it'll be a free-for-all. Gora, look, that's a really nice donation. Do appreciate it. But you have to remember as well, a lot of other people have donated as well. So it's obviously not just tonight's donations taken into account. Maddison or Richarlison on the bench. I don't even know who Leicester have got. Leicester have got Watford. Probably Richarlison. Although, Maddison's been in not the greatest of form, to put it mildly. But Richarlison is. Richarlison's up against a really good defence, but it is a derby. That's the one reason I feel like I should play him. Make more mugs with your tash on, maybe. Thoughts on Delph now that Mendy is injured? I just think Delph is such an uninspiring pick. I don't even know what price he is. Probably not too many attacking returns, you'd imagine. But he's only 5.3. Yeah, fair enough. Some clean sheets there, but I don't know. I just can't do it. I couldn't do that. But you got to think he's going to start the majority of games for the rest of the year. They could play like a 3-5-2 and play Sané left back or something. Zinchenko as well. Adam's pointing out. So yeah, I don't know. He just feels uninspiring. But if he plays 5.3 million, pretty decent. Cheers, Joe. Thanks for everyone that tunes in, hits that like button. Reminder, subscribes and all that good stuff. It's much appreciated. It's much easier to do this when there's people watching than just to sit here and talk blindly into a mic. So I always appreciate it. Need help. Captain Hazard and bench Alonso, or bench transfer Hazard and captain Alonso. I forgot this was your dare. Oh my god. I think you captain Hazard and bench Alonso, surely. You don't really want either of them gone. Although transfer Hazard is not the worst. I can't remember what your team is though. I need to watch the video. I haven't got around to it yet. I'd be tempted to transfer Hazard actually. Do I have a job other than this? Yes. This is definitely not my job. Wan-Bissaka or Chilwell on the bench? I'd probably bench Chilwell, to be honest. Just realised we're less than a month away from wildcards resetting. That means we're halfway through the season. Yeah, it's going to come thick and fast. Love Christmas. Is there a reason you most regularly play 3-4-3? Not really. I mean, it's a fairly tried and tested formation when it comes to FPL. Most players play it. And also gives you kind of a structure to move players around. So if there is another forward that I want, I've kind of got a cheap, a mid-price, and a full-price striker that I can switch around. But I mean, I would definitely look at 3-5-2. But I think, like this week, I could play 4-3-3. So I'm trying to be a bit more fluid in my formation. Not necessarily play 3-4-3 if I've got defenders that are got good fixtures. And I've seen a lot of people looking to play maybe 4 or even 5 defenders this week. If you haven't used the wildcard yet, probably the next couple of weeks. Am I a professional FPL player? No. Can you be a professional? Not sure you can. I mean, some people have got very good records. All those guys on Meet the Manager on Fantasy Football Scout. I mean, they've got great records. Maybe they're professionals. Is Trippier a rotation risk considering his injury risk? Aurier seems to get some minutes. Yeah, I would probably... I mean, yes. You'd think he would be with Aurier around, but he has started the majority of games when he's been fit. Without checking, I'd almost say he's played every single one. I think. What's happened? Oh, it hasn't... stream is very poor quality today. Okay, hang on. It's gone red. Oh no. I'll keep going. Hopefully you can hear me. Oh, the stream's gone down, has it? I'm back. Hello. Welcome back. Yeah, it does say... I don't know why it's doing that. Stream is back. Okay. So hopefully it didn't cut out at all. It is showing red though. I don't know why. That's really weird. There's no reason for it to do that. Yeah, no, it gives me like a stream health bar, and it's either green, yellow, or red, and it's red right now. I'm just doing a speed test on the internet. I have a feeling could be a YouTube thing, but I'm just double checking. Yeah, it's gone to green now. It's really weird. Just checking now. It seems to be okay. Alright, fingers crossed. Sorry about that. Do I think Ranieri could inspire Mitrovic to do a Vardy? I think, I don't know if it'd be quite Vardy-esque, to be honest, but I mean, Mitrovic has already shown this season, with or without Ranieri, that he can score goals. I think Apple Bonkers, I think Applebonk has made a good point about players like Mitrovic and Doherty even, that they almost did too well at the start of the season where we expected too much from them. So I think that's the thing with Mitrovic. He did so well, we expect quite a lot from him now, whereas really you got to think he's like a 6.5, 6.7 million striker. He's not going to get you points every week. So I think yes, the short answer is yes, I think Ranieri could get a bit more out of him. But we shouldn't set our expectations too high. Thoughts on Shaqiri? I just think, like someone like Sané and Sterling, right? They may get rotated, but you expect them to play most games. Someone like Shaqiri, I think if he's not in the side, if he's not in the first 11, you don't, you're not shocked. So I don't think Shaqiri's an option. People got him for that one game. I think he has to go after that. You got a couple more minutes to vote on the polls if you're so inclined. There is 5 to vote on. Your Gameweek 14 captain. Would you sell Hazard? Which City mid to bring in? Is it time to drop Wolves defenders? And how many hits are you taking for Gameweek 14? So take a look at them, vote, and we'll go through them in a minute. Hopefully we'll get through that before the stream dies. I see it's going yellow again now. So hopefully it holds up. I wonder if something's downloading. Let me just close everything down. Don't think it would be. Yeah, I'm not sure I'd be ditching. Although I've ditched Hazard, but I'm not sure I'd be ditching Alonso right now. The polls are in the top right hand corner. Sometimes you've got to hover over if you've got a mouse, or maybe click in if you've got a tablet or something. Aguero will hat trick. Yeah, maybe he will, but at least I'll own him. Do you think Martial gets solid inventory on United in the matches ahead? I guess you mean he's going to start, considering Alexis injured himself on today's training hamstring. I do think he's going to start the majority. I don't know about the Sanchez injury though. I've not heard about that. Nah, not with Vodafone. My internet's been pretty good, to be honest. It didn't work like completely out the other night, but that was just something where it was down for everyone. This I'm not too sure. Hopefully it's not buffering too much right now. I mean, being on yellow stream health is not that rare. Like that happens most streams, but it's usually fine. But when it goes red, that's bad news. You should put your total points above your team. Yeah, maybe I will. Maybe that's better than game week rank. Okay, let's do the polls. I'm worried now that the stream's just going to die. Just going to refresh a sec. Okay. Oh, back to green now. Okay, I give up. I give up trying to figure out what's wrong with it. Okay, so your game week 14 captain, Sterling or Sané at 41%. Interesting. 36% for Aguero. I think Aguero will probably end up being the highest because he's owned by so many. He'll probably be the highest captain this week. 16% on Hazard, 4% on Salah, ultra differential there, and 3 people going for someone else. So Sterling Sané right now looks to be the most popular. Would you sell Hazard this week? 65% said no. They think I've made a mistake. They could be right. It is Fulham at home. 34% say yes. Which City mid would you bring in? I mean, Sterling's going to win this by a mile, yeah, 59%. 35% for Sané. So they're the big two. I think that's right. Excuse me. David Silva 4% and just 1% for poor old Mahrez. Is it time to drop Wolves defenders? 74% say no. They don't mind the 5 clean sheets. The lack of clean sheets in the last 5 games. And obviously, 26% say yes. And how many hits are you taking this week? 67% of you taking 0. 24% taking a -4, so quite high. 4% -8. 2% of you are wildcard, and 1% on 12 or more. Hazard out is not a mistake longer term. That is the hope. There you go. Stephen Lang's got the wildcard question in. The wildcard chip can be used twice a season, once in the first half of the season before 29th of December. So basically the first half of the season and once in the second half. You're only 16 points behind me and you're 29k. Wow, just shows a good game week. Yeah, the ranks are pretty high, that's for sure. The points are quite close together still. Ooh. Weird sound. What's up, Ian? Yeah, a little bit late. But look, you can go back and watch it. The beauty of YouTube. One thing, by the way, with the mustache, I will not be doing. The one thing this has taught me, checking out older pictures, is when I just let the beard go wild. Not happening. Maybe I'll show you a picture at some point from a year ago. Looks ridiculous. Cheers, Gora. Thanks very much for the donations again. Much appreciated. As you said, a really good cause, so do appreciate that. You're 19 points behind at 33k. I'm worried now. I'm worried I'm going to have a bad week and fall right down. I'm drinking cherries and berries squash from Tesco. If Tesco want to sponsor me for some cherries and berries squash, I'm up for that. A 4-0 win for Chelsea tonight and another blank for Hazard. Is this going to be a huge game week? I think on paper it's got the potential, but not hoping for too much after last week. Just a nice 60 score would be good, and decent on the old, the game week rank. Hopefully it's quite high. Beat the average or whatever. No sugars. I don't really drink that much squash. Like all during the day I drink water, so don't mind this. It's sugar free too. Weeks like this should count as double game weeks. No, I prefer the individual game weeks, to be honest. You get the double game weeks at the end anyway, so. Are you still looking for sponsors? You're always looking for sponsors. Yeah, if someone wants to sponsor the stream, let me know. Get in touch. And we can talk. Will Sterling be benched? I blooming well hope not. Do I play Champions League Fantasy? I do not. Alright, we'll leave the stream. We'll leave the FPL stuff there, I think, now. Enjoyed that stream. Lots to talk about. Obviously, I know I talked about my team quite a bit at the start, but hopefully that stopped as we went through a little bit. Got to some other questions. I don't foresee my team changing too much. If at all. I think the only thing I would do is Richarlison in for Doherty, unless there's another injury scare or something. Just to say before everyone kind of logs off, I've had another donation, so we're up to €760 now. So if you've got a few more quid, we can get up to the 800 mark. I don't know who it's from though. I don't know why Movember is loading so slowly tonight. It's not loading the donations for me. Well, it is, but it's taking time. So we'll do a quick fire. We'll do a quick fire because we've not done one for a while. Boom. Here we go. 5-minute quick fire. And then hopefully the donation, who the donation was, so I can give it a shout. Oh, Jesus, yeah, there we go. You sent me a message on Instagram. I've not been on Instagram in so long. I want to go on Instagram, but there's so much stuff to do with, what's it called? Twitter and that. I don't even know how to check my messages on here. I'll figure it out after. Okay. I'll donate to a barber to cut that mustache. It's coming off. Stop panicking, people. Alright, got to stop clicking off that. So let's do, for anyone that's not seen this before, we're going to try and answer as many questions as possible, preferably yes or no questions. But I will give context because I always do that. And I know people hate it, but you know what? It's happening. So let's do it. 3, 2, 1. 5 minutes. Go. We're off. Messi or Ronaldo? Messi, but obviously love Ronaldo. Aguero or Sterling captain? I'm going Sterling. No, there's no spider behind me, but I always do check for sure. Favourite holiday destination? I've not been on too many holidays, but I went to Spain last year. It was very nice. I'd love to go back. Roses or Quality Street? I want to say Roses, I think. I'm trying to remember which ones are in which. Mane or Salah? Salah for sure. Have I been to Australia? Nope. Maybe one day. Alonso out to free up funds. I wouldn't be wanting to get rid of Alonso right now, I don't think. Tash or Goatee? I mean, maybe we'll try Goatee next year. Start Yedlin, Duffy or Doherty? Sugar, I got quickly... I can't check. I don't know who they're all playing. I can't remember. Newcastle playing West Ham at home. Duffy is playing Huddersfield away. I'd probably start Doherty, I think, but could all get your points there. Mane to Sané for a hit. I'd be tempted. Yeah, I would be tempted by that. Depends what the other hit is, I suppose. Robertson or Trent? I mean, Robertson for sure, I guess, if money's not an object, but I'm quite happy owning Trent for now. Favourite wrestler of the Raw era? I don't know who counts for that, to be honest. Let's just go for The Rock, even though I'm pretty sure the Raw era was after his kind of big stint. Play Wan-Bissaka or Balbuena instead of Richarlison. Wan-Bissaka, I think. Notice how I keep saying Wan now instead of Van. I've learnt. Who would I triple captain this week? Man City player, probably. PewDiePie or T-Series? PewDiePie, the OG. My highest rank is just inside the top 5k. I don't know exactly, like 4954 or something like that. You can check it out on my points page. Automatic or manual car? Manual, because that's what everyone has in England and Ireland. But I don't. Since I've learned to drive like a year and a half ago, I don't understand why automatic cars aren't a bigger thing over here. Like, who wants to really change gears? All the technology around, we still have to change gears. Surely there can't be that much difference between the speed of a car now between automatic and manual. The tech must be there for efficiency or whatever. Anyway, missed everything. Has to keep us out. I've sold. I think you could definitely keep if you wanted to. Zlatan, human or lion? Human. Come on. When is the next stream? The next stream will be on Sunday, and then the video will be out on Monday, and then deadline's on Tuesday. Boom, boom, boom. And then probably another stream on Thursday or something. Zaha is a 1 week punt. Yeah, I think Zaha, or someone pointed out Willian earlier. I thought that was an interesting one. But yeah, against Burnley, I think Burnley are probably the one, and Fulham, I think, for leaking goals still. Why sell Aguero? He's a monster at home. Yeah, I wouldn't sell Aguero. Where am I spending Christmas Day? At my mum's house in England. I'm looking forward to getting away. Domino's or Pizza Hut? Domino's, I have not had either for ages, but Domino's Double Decadent Space is amazing, but Pizza Hut do stuffed crust. It's very hard to pick. I'd probably go for that Double Decadence. Will I shave my head? No. No. Toast or cereal for breakfast? Cereal. Although I pretty much have porridge these days. I do not live in England, no. Will I see United over Christmas? Nah, not at Old Trafford at least. Deadlift or squat? Squat probably. Chips on a full English? No. White pudding though. Irish. Full Irish. Oh, Ireland or England? You can't ask me questions like that. I love living in Ireland, but I do miss England too. Papa John's for the win. Yeah, fair point. That's all I have near where I live now. Coke or Pepsi? Coke. How long have I been married? I'm not married. White pudding is like a much better version of black pudding. It's so nice. It's the thing missing from full English. I'm telling you. They have it loads in Ireland. Irish coffee or Guinness? Guinness. No, I don't live in England now. I used to. Shave or €500? €500, I guess. Depends how long I have to keep it for. Would you keep the tax for a year if 100k went to charity? Yeah, for sure. I'm not going to answer that, John. Love Island or Love Island, because I'm a celeb. I can't be dealing with all those bugs and stuff. So is it white blood? I don't think it's made with blood, actually. It's got like oatmeal and stuff in, or oats and stuff. Okay, I'm going to reset this before... I'm going to stop it, actually, before the beat goes on, because I know everyone hates that. Boom. There we go. The quickfire is done. Shearer Henry. Shearer... so many good memories of Euro 96. But Henry was... if I had to pick one for my team, probably Henry. If you don't have Aguero, who's going to be your vice-captain? Salah. Oasis or The Verve? The Verve have got some pretty sweet songs that I like. Which I can't remember the name of. Not Bittersweet Sympathy. Symphony. I can't remember now. Oranges or apples? Apples. Kane next week? Yeah, maybe. Wilder or Fury? Whoever. Not really too bothered by boxing that much. Total points 840, I believe. Mario Luigi, Mario, the OG. Neighbours or home away? Neighbours. By like an absolute mile. I think it's Lucky Man that I really like. Fingers crossed back into the 10k. Fingers crossed, fingers crossed. Predict my team points for this weekend. Well, Sterling's going to get a hat-trick. So that's 40 points straight off the bat. Aguero with the brace. Couple of bonus. That's 12. So I'm already on like over 50 just for 2 players. Alonso goal, 3 bonus points and an assist. That's 18 points. 68 points from 3. I'm going to probably score 107 this week. Beer or whiskey? Beer. Galway or Bristol? I'd probably have to say Galway. Patterson as an enabler. He's looked pretty good recently. I think you could be on something there as an enabler. I live in Galway. Pound or euro? I mean, pound notes, they feel much nicer than euros. Plus, it doesn't feel too bad dissing euros because they're not an Irish thing. They're like a Europe thing, obviously. Enabler is someone that you get in who's kind of cheap to fund a different move. Basically. Corbyn or Mayo, let's not get into politics. Yeah, always got to aim high. Oh no, Danny, don't be saying stuff like that. Sterling looked poor versus Leon. Maybe it's time for a rest. Come on. You can't be saying stuff like that. Not at the end of a stream, man. Yeah, a lot of people say that Euros is like Monopoly money. Let me see if this donation is in yet. 760. Ah, yeah. Jared Whittinger from Canada. Thanks very much for the donation. So we're up to 760. I'm going to end the stream there. I'm going to go and put this tweet up for the mug. And then we'll give it away randomly, probably over the weekend or something. Other than that, yeah, if you haven't already, give the stream a like. It'd be much appreciated. If you have got a couple of quid to spare, there is a link in the description for Movember. The Tash will be off after tomorrow. And that is done. What am I spending the donations on? It's going straight to charity. There's nothing for me. Yeah, like the stream if you haven't already. Much appreciated. Subscribe if you're new around here and all that good stuff. Yes, don't forget the deadline is tomorrow, Friday. I will catch you on Sunday for another stream. Hopefully Sterling's played. Hopefully Hazard hasn't punished me too much. And yes, say goodbye to the moustache. Let's just put it full screen. Just imagine you've had to live with this on your face for 30 days. Well, nearly 30 days. I mean, it took a little while to grow. But yeah, this is it. You won't see this on Sunday, thank God. And again, just to say one more time, thanks very much to everyone that donated. It's very generous of you. It's way more than